दिल सबका टूटता है, trauma सबको होता है.
Welcome to Meet the Matchmaker, solving your relationship woes with our relationship pros.
Expecting someone who's had no relationship, no trauma, no baggage, you're looking for a unicorn.
Past is like a rear view mirror. So it's important to glance at it, but if you're watching too much of it, you might cause an accident. Also, is it like, are you missing the person or are you missing the feeling? The feeling of, just you being lonely and you having someone to say good morning and good night to.
I don't think you can be friends with your ex if we are in constant contact with our past, right? We are blocking mental space for our future.
I went on a date with someone and they said that, look, all my exes were crazy. Is that a red flag?
Run.
Run?
Girl, run. Trauma is acceptable, baggage isn't.
Whoa. Find me someone just like my ex. Find me someone who looks exactly like my ex. ऐसे कभी हुआ है आप लोगों के साथ?
Another profile that doesn't meet your type, but he's solid, then I will push that profile towards you. It's my job to also push you and your thought process.
मतलब supposing I met someone and he is telling me कि मैंने पहले cheat किया था.
मतलब 10 साल पहले किया था और फिर बाकी relationships में नहीं किया है, या मैं हर relationship में यही करता हूँ?
I think there's no such thing as a good breakup. Breakups are supposed to be bad.
Who do you think it's worse for? The one breaking up or the one getting broken up with? Hello and welcome to the first installment of Ask a Matchmaker. Today I am so thrilled to be joined by Verona's relationship coaches. Welcome Shreya, welcome Simran.
Thank you.
Before one can venture to start a new chapter, one has to close out a former chapter. That's why today's topic is about exes and baggage. How to close out the past before you can enter into a new engagement with a clean slate. Is there such a thing as a clean slate? We'll get into that and more today. Alrighty, so Shreya, what I want to start out with is, when do I bring up the past and how much do I divulge with a new prospect?
I think definitely not the first date, because that's like a time that you should invest in realizing if like this person could be something meaningful, if this could be worthwhile. But I don't think it should be hidden for way too long either. I think around the third, fourth date, one should start discussing the kind of relationships they've been in, how they've impacted you, what you've learned, how you like to be loved, so that you're giving the new prospect a chance to learn what all you've learned in the past, so to speak.
I see. So focusing more on the lessons and the impact on you rather than them as a person. Like, I want to know from you, what am I supposed to talk about my ex-boyfriends to a future prospect?
I always tell my clients that past is like a rear view mirror, right? So it's important to glance at it, but if you're watching too much of it, you might cause an accident. So I think there's a limit to what can be shared. Some people say that telling everything basically means that you're honest, but sometimes it's important to not share everything, but rather not hide what's relevant, I think.
Yeah, I feel like not all the nitty-gritties of your past need to be
What's an example of something you shouldn't probably tell someone?
Maybe don't discuss your physical, intimate life with your ex, with your next.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the smartest idea, because it puts the other person in an insecure place, and it's not information that does anyone any good.
How do you know that you're ready to move forward after something ended?
If you have a closure and if you know that you want to move on, you can get into a relationship tomorrow. You can probably think of being with somebody tomorrow if you know that, it's done. What's done is dusted.
Wow, interesting. So it's kind of like how you view that experience in the ending, right?
But like sometimes what happens is breakups khichte hain. So if you're in that zone, then it's probably not the right time to introduce someone new. But if you've gone cold turkey, basically,
no contact,
then it may be an opportunity for you at least to start figuring out.
Is there some kind of optimal gap that I should keep in between relationships? I know you mentioned that you could start again tomorrow, but like realistically, to emerge from something takes time.
Yeah, and I think it depends on two things. That's how I look at it. What was the duration of your last relationship, and what was the intensity of that last relationship? I think both things really play into how long it will take you to process and grieve that relationship. Because if it was a serious relationship, you're not just grieving the relationship, you're grieving a part of you that had decided a future with that person. So you have to give yourself that time
Grace period.
give yourself that grace that it's going to take me time to mourn this person and the future that I'd envisioned with them. Grief is not linear, right? It comes in waves.
When you actually meet someone new, I think that's a real test of how ready you were, because it brings up all those feelings again, and it almost feels illegal to hold someone's hand once you were so attached to someone else.
Yeah.
So, there is a period of like disaggregating and rewiring your brain to be associated away from one person and ready for another.
I feel that if I go too soon into a relationship, I may be comparing my next with my ex.
Right.
But if I take my time, then I'm comparing the new person with my single life. And that's an honest comparison as to, are you bringing value into my life versus are you better than the last on like ABC variables?
Right. And that should be the competition that they're in, right? Not in competition with your ex, but in competition with you alone in your own company.
Also, is it like, are you missing the person or are you missing the feeling? The feeling of, just you being lonely and you having someone to say good morning and good night to.
Such great advice. Okay, so what do you say to clients who come to you and say, I want someone who has no past or who has never had a boyfriend before?
Most people who come into the matchmaking market are a minimum of 24 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone till the age of 24 could have had no past, right? I'm not talking even about those in their late 20s, early 30s. You've had your fair share. Dil sabka tootta hai, trauma sabko hota hai. Expecting someone who's had no relationship, no trauma, no baggage, or looking for a unicorn.
Are there any circumstances in which you can have a healthy relationship with your ex and still be in contact with them?
I don't believe in that. जब एक गोभी का फूल गोभी की सब्जी बन चुकी है तो अब उसको हम वापस फूल नहीं बना सकते. So if it's done, it's done. It's done and dusted.
And I also feel like if we are in constant contact with our past, right, we are blocking mental space for our future. One has only 24 hours in the day. We're all working. We all have other things we want to do, workout, hobbies, friends, family. You're not leaving enough mind space and bandwidth for someone new to come in, or you're not even clearing that space out. It's going to remain cluttered.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can be friends with your ex. If you truly loved them, how can you be just friends with someone who you were in love with?
I've always believed in full no contact. Like, don't be coming into my messages like wishing me a happy Diwali. Like, it's by happy Muharram. Like every
Basant Panchami, like keep that to yourself.
I went on a date with someone and they said that, look, all my exes were crazy. Like I don't even want to talk about them. They were all the problem. Is that a red flag?
Run.
Run.
Girl, run.
How can everyone be crazy? One, maybe yeah. Two, yes. But what about other people that you've dated?
And why did you keep dating crazy people?
Maybe you're attracting that energy.
Exactly.
Tali do haath se hi bajti hai. If someone is saying all my exes were crazy and I've had no learning out of it and I don't even want to discuss that, you were in love with this person. At some point of time, you would have found one nice thing about them for sure.
Do people ever come to you and request things like, find me someone just like my ex? Find me someone who looks exactly like my ex. ऐसे कभी हुआ है आप लोगों के साथ?
बहुत हुआ है. And especially with us, I think clients usually send us pictures of their exes and say कि this is the kind of looks I want, this is the kind of personality I want, and I tell them the same thing, that if you've broken up with them, I'm sure there must be a reason. Why have you broken up then?
But if we've been dating the same type of person over and over and over again and it's not worked for us, maybe we should change what we're looking for in a person or understand that this is not working for me. Awareness and acceptance are two big words.
But we do have a type. I think we all
can have
a
a
type.
physical type, but I'm just saying, like, in the larger scheme of things, life is amazing if you get your physical type and the great person within it. But if I had to make a choice between one or the other,
let the physical go.
Yeah.
If you've liked the way a certain person has looked in your past, to a matchmaker, it can give you somewhat of a roadmap to give an idea of okay, at least who would he or she be physically attracted to.
Yeah, and we do our best to cover that up, but if there's another profile that doesn't meet your type, but she's solid or he's solid, and we've met the person and they're kind and generous and intelligent, then I will push that profile towards you. It's my job to also push you and your thought process.
What would you say to someone who feels that marriage pressure timeline, right? The 30s are bearing down at them. They feel that there's some kind of clock ticking on when they want to get married. Pressure is on, and they're still not over their ex. But they need to get cracking now. Their parents are like, ab time ho gaya, ab itna time nahi hai. Just move on and get on with it.
I just think marriage can have a timeline, but love can't have a timeline. If you already have feelings for your ex, or maybe for anything for that matter, if you just don't want to get into a relationship, no matter how much you push, a person might be 10 on 10, but you still may not be able to feel what you should be feeling. And that's not right for you. That's not right for the person you're with. That's not right for your prospect, because what have they done?
And you know, like, the pressure is real, right? Like, I'm not even taking that away. It's so hard being in your 30s and like seeing everyone like get married, and Instagram doesn't make it easy. And the sad reality is also that there is a certain marriageable age that gets more traction than the others, right?
And you don't want to miss that boat.
Yeah, I would say do like therapy weekly, get it out of your system, and then get going, you know. But do the work.
Yeah.
Don't skip the work.
What does the work look like?
I think work just looks like, one, self-awareness, knowing what you want, knowing what you did wrong, knowing where you actually were wrong. See, बहुत ज़्यादा important है to understand कि जिस जीत में at the end of the day आपकी हार होगी, वो जीत नहीं है. So rather अभी हार जाओ और accept कर लो that you were probably wrong in like a few aspects.
Speaking of the past, like if someone in their past cheated on someone and they kind of confide that to me, should I trust them?
Trusting is like you're kind of on a bridge. You can't keep looking back if the bridge is going to collapse or not. If you've decided to trust, you should definitely know what you're doing, know what you're getting into. And I think one thing that you should keep in mind is that what are the changes that you see in that person? We all make mistakes. I won't say that once you've cheated, you'll always cheat. Like Shreya said, we all have baggage. But are you carrying that suitcase, dragging it everywhere that you're going? Or are you like over it? Do you know how to unpack it?
Yeah, but then Simran, there is like a lack of impulse control, right? If you have cheated in the past,
like, is it
and that's like
sign?
A personality trait. Like,
but like, can someone change that? Can they? What if they come to me and they be like, I really worked on myself after that, and like now I know that
did you cheat on the ex when you were 21 and a child, or did you do it when you were 28, 29 and a grown ass adult?
अच्छा, वो भी फर्क पड़ जाता है. मतलब supposing I met someone and he is telling me कि मैंने पहले cheat किया था.
मतलब 10 साल पहले किया था और फिर बाकी relationships में नहीं किया है, या मैं हर relationship में यही करता हूँ.
It's a gamble.
Love is definitely a gamble.
Love is a gamble, but like if the person has been kind enough and been honest with you, keep your eyes and ears open.
But don't you think ऐसा भी तो हो सकता था कि वो ना बताता? But now that you kind of know that, you know, that is something that has happened.
वो भी एक technique है यार. To get trust from you, to be like मैं पहले ही बता रहा हूँ कि ऐसे हुआ था.
I think as a psychologist, I would always say that change is possible and you can completely change and you can work on yourself for sure.
If you have that knowledge, is it natural to be a little skeptical?
Yeah, for sure.
The job comes on the other person to provide that security to you that, okay, this was a one-time thing and it's not how I want to lead my life.
Do you believe in closure, and is closure ever needed?
Sometimes when we're in the middle of the storm, we can't see clearly.
Okay.
So you need to move out of the relationship on the periphery and view it as an observer. At that point, you may need some, anxiety soothing and interaction with the person.
Oh.
You need to look at it as an observer and then still watch them gaslight you.
So closure meaning, going back, talking to the person one last time, saying a final goodbye and getting the sense of a conclusive finality.
Yeah, or like, this is why it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see this clearly now, but without my love goggles on.
I don't know if the love goggles are off or not. Number one, that's the problem. And the second, I think there's no such thing as a good breakup. Breakups are supposed to be bad. That's why it's actually breaking up. So even if you don't scream or shout, you do leave. And I think leaving is as hard as something can be. Leaving is like a grief. Like when people die, they go away. And when you break up, they've also gone away out of your life. So it's like they're kind of dead in your life. And I think that's how it should be. Because, it's so dead to you. I think just letting go is a very, very big skill that people should possess.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I see merit in what you're saying. It's just hard.
Closure to me is kind of a myth, because every time I've gone back for closure and to like say my final goodbye, and I've never really felt that much better.
Yeah.
I really only just feel worse. Every time I've done that, I've kind of regretted having gone back, because you have to accept that some stories just end in the middle.
Yeah.
people always say this, but like, oh, the disrespect was the closure, you know? The fact that it didn't work out is all the closure that you really need. The knowledge that this is the wrong person should be sufficient for you to be like, okay, done and dusted, let's move on.
I feel like sometimes closure also, like you're pushed to do closure because you want to kind of like put your
tie a
point
bow.
across.
Oh, yeah.
Put your point across and like kind of save the self-image tarnish that you've had.
Yeah.
But my mother always says this, and she's just like, are you going to speak with this person again? And I'm like, no. Then she's like, then how does it matter what they think of you? I think that's rather solid.
Yeah, no, just like to go back, but I totally get that feeling of like wanting to explain exactly how they hurt me and exactly what they did wrong and how I was right in that situation. Like, bro, that person doesn't care.
And no matter how much you tell them, if they couldn't make it right before, how can they make it right now?
They don't want to.
They don't want
वरना
to.
वो पहले ही कर लेते.
Breaking no contact when you're single. Again, it's the same thing, dude. Like, you're reading a book backwards. Did you not give it your 150 to try and fix it? Like, I'm sure you did. I'm sure तुमने हाथ पैर मारे हैं. नहीं हो रहा, छोड़ दो. You know?
In your experience in working with clients, have you found that men and women deal with breakups differently?
It's more individual based, but I do feel like women are sad for the first month and then they're happy.
Yeah.
And men are happy for the first month and then they're sad.
I've totally seen that.
Simply because, you know, we're grieving and mourning.
It hits us instantly.
Yeah.
Like that
I also feel like
realization.
women, when they do break up, and this could be like a tough one, but I've already broken up with you 2 weeks ago in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm just going through it right now. It's already done. I'm just waiting for you to make it so bad that I don't ever come back, which is not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
But I think women cry over it.
Yeah.
And they let it go. If you actually cry over it and you realize that, you know, this is done, you show your emotions, you let it out of your system, you do it better.
I think crying is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, so helpful. Like, cry session at mine at 8. Let's
I'm
go.
coming.
Pull up. You know?
I'm there.
I also feel like as women, we're very fortunate to have like a social buffer.
A support system.
A support system. Female friendships are so beautiful.
Goated.
Yeah, like I will cry about the same thing 101 times and I will never hear my girlfriends be like, oh, I told you so. I've never heard that, you know.
Yeah.
So we're so lucky to be able to process this with, you know, a safe community. And I'm not sure how men
have that.
If men have
Guys
that.
are like, छोड़ो ना, हो गया, चलो, let's घूमने चलते हैं, ये करते हैं.
उनका भी अलग तरीका होता है bonding का.
But do it sober. It's important to do it sober. It's important to get it out of your system.
Who do you think it's worse for? The one breaking up or the one getting broken up with?
I think the one getting broken up with. Yeah. I'm sure you've thought through the whole process if you're trying to break up. You know why you're breaking up. You have like a set of pros and cons that you've already thought of. And you know that cons are more.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the contrary, like the one who's doing the breaking up has a really difficult job of staying strong and standing by that decision. Like there's some amount of guilt because you feel you're inflicting a lot of pain on someone else, while you too might be in pain yourself, but they are the ones who are like the recipient of the breakup. And number two, if they're like, no, please don't break up with me, like you have to stand there and be strong and be like, no, we have to do this. Even if agar aapka man bhi karega rukne ke liye, but fir bhi aapko wahan matlab us level pe
But
strong.
then at least you have awareness. You know that this is not working out. On the other hand, the person who's on the other side probably still thinks, no, it's a beautiful relationship, we can still do it, we can still work it out.
It's hard on both sides, right?
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that like it's only hard for the one getting broken up with, and I don't think that's the case.
I think it's hard on both sides, but the one who's doing it is probably like frustrated and like up against the wall at this point, whereas the one who's getting broken up with maybe still has a little bit more to give, and that's the gap. I think if you have like an ounce of emotional intelligence, you should be mentally prepared. Like you know this is not
You know
working.
it's
You know you're
it's
fighting.
coming.
You know you're not agreeing on certain like basic principles of life. Like what else do you think will happen?
But then it does hit your self-esteem. Not everybody can take rejections.
Yeah.
Yeah, rejection is hard, dude.
That's true. It does really hit your self-esteem. And that's where like the self-worth has to be so strong to know that if someone's walking away, it's not my fault. You know, the brain like perceives that heartbreak as a physical trauma.
loss, yeah.
Like it's housed in the same area where you process physical pain. So if you're like experiencing heartbreak and you feel physically in pain, that's super normal and that's your brain becoming aware of like basically an amputation of part of its body, you know, and that's like that phantom pain that's so hard. What is the role of forgiveness in moving on from your past or from your ex? Should you always forgive and forget?
Forgive, but don't forget. I think that's something that we should know, that we should definitely forgive because it's going to be helpful for us.
But what if they did something so horrible? Like, why should I forgive them? Like, why do they deserve my forgiveness?
I'll be very honest, I've been cheated on, and in my heart, I've forgiven them. I think the absence was the punishment.
That's so strong of you.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I would forgive is because it's going to be better for my own mental peace and sanity. I forgive you because I don't want you cluttering my brain space anymore. I don't want to hate you anymore. Hating takes energy.
It's a taxing emotion to carry around with you. I saw this quote one time where it's like, we forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, but because we deserve peace. And I think that's so salient to moving forward. And I love forgiving people. Like, I will aggressively forgive people who don't deserve forgiveness, because it's like, just because you did all of that doesn't mean I have to carry that along with me. So what a beautiful place to draw to a close for this episode of Ask a Matchmaker. Thank you for joining me, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks,
so much
Cece.
fun.
We had so much fun.
We're gonna have you back again very soon.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to hit subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave in the comment section below what more questions you'd like us to ask our relationship coaches. We'll see you in the next one.